You are listening to Venus Rose, interactive spiritual Q&A and the power of sound.
Music is like sunshine.
Hello, conscious souls. How are you feeling? The heat wave has left. Instead, we had strong winds and now rain where I live. Jupiter has entered the sign of Leo in the beginning of the week. For the upcoming year, the biggest planet in our solar system is bringing its expanding energy to us in a different way. Jupiter left Cancer, the cardinal water sign, where our sun is currently in. Everything emotional, family, and home-oriented was highlighted by him the last 12 months and is by the sun in Cancer right now, which leads me to today's topic. But Jupiter entered into the fixed fire sign of Leo. Wherever Leo is placed in your birth chart, this area in your life will get the spotlight somehow. Abundance is his preference. There is no way the big Jupiter will not be noticed. And in the flamboyant energy of Leo, the stage is perfectly set to be seen. Many astrologers speak about luck. The ones that I listen to balance it a little bit more and speak about that Jupiter can expand everything. It might as well be something not so positive. If a negative energy of some kind is in your presence, you will not be able to ignore it anymore. It will be seen clearly, and you have to pay attention and handle it. Some astrology geeks say, at first, Jupiter highlights lack in the house where he enters, to get your attention, one might say, so you can make changes in that area of life in order for you to build abundance there. I do not have the approach to make this podcast about astrology. There are too many beautiful astrologers out there with massive knowledge. But I love to leave little nuggets for you when interesting changes occur in the cosmos. Sometimes it helps to understand why we are feeling a certain way. For those of you who know their time of birth, check out the house where Leo resides and look at what this area means, or better, stands for, so you can see where this influence has most likely more impact in your life. When we look onto the world stage, the last time Jupiter was in Leo was 12 years ago, July 2014 until August 2015. He stays in every sign approximately 12 months. The stage was set. Although Instagram existed before, in that year significant changes were made and it really took off. A new way for the individual to present itself to the world, to be seen. 12 years prior, 2002 to 2003, reality TV was very popular. The American Idol show was born. It is said that about 46 countries around the globe adapted this TV franchise. So typical Leo, all eyes on me, but also creativity, art, and new ideas. If you go further back in time, you will realize that other Leo themes were highlighted and initiated during the year this Jupiter transit took place. Icons who draw a big attention onto themselves for the whole world to see, often launched their careers with this transit, or at least it was the time when the masses gave them their crown of the pop culture. The superstar culture in the early 90s were crazy. Another 12 years back, the first Superman movie came into the cinemas in 1978. It may be far-fetched for some, but this figure has a touch of a modern Christ for me. I believe that is why this hero has been so popular. It is still a symbol of hope for many, especially those who are not religious. There is an encouraging vibe this superhero gives. The definition speaks about courage as a strength, not only mental but moral too. The ability to act in difficult circumstances despite fear. I have a whole podcast somewhere about that theme. What I love the most is his unbreakable spirit, the big heart, le cœur, within Superman's courage, that defines his soul, a true warrior of the light. But people need to realize, though, that they have to save themselves by discovering and comprehending that we all have superpowers within us. When you go further back, you'll find a creative revolution in the mid-60s. The Beatles, at their peak, flower power, and so on. Self-expression, but also dignity, were themes that were highlighted. So this was just a short hint for those of you who are interested in that kind of stuff, just to understand how these cosmic energies work. Jupiter has just entered the space, and the Leo season for the Sun will begin soon, in some weeks anyway. For now, we will feel into our emotions, into the calmer waters of Cancer. Has anyone felt a bit wobbly in the head during the last week? I for sure did. There were massive solar flare energies from the Sun that influence all of our bodies. In case you feel a bit tired, try to get extra rest if you can, to help your body integrate the new frequencies from the Sun. For those of you who meditate, just sit with it consciously. Ask for help to upgrade your light body, just at least 5 minutes daily, and listen to what happens and changes. Gaia is changing, and our bodies with her. We are living on the earth and within the energy of her consciousness. The world is shifting, not with a switch or a finger snap, but bit by bit, every day. I talked to my sister-in-law on the phone some days ago, and I realized that she was not pleased when I called her friend. She is family, of course, but for me, family does not mean automatically that you get on well with each other. So when I call someone a friend, it indicates how dear the being is to my heart. I'm fortunate to have beautiful beings in my life whom I call friends. When we resonate with each other, these relationships can stand the test of time. I'm a very loyal person, and my closest friends are family to me. Some of them I know more than over 2 decades. Others almost my whole life. While I was maturing on my spiritual path, I am realizing more and more how soul connections work. When people come to me for a one-on-one session, we often recognize that current family members have been together in other lifetimes, in different settings. Often there are unreleased things, but there are old alliances too that worked well in a different space and time. The souls decide to come back together again as parents or siblings or cousins to work through more stuff. Family is always a sensitive theme. I personally remember gatherings where things escalated. Those beings who incarnate in proximity to each other share not only the same genes, but a certain concept of sorts, most of the time. It can also be the total opposite. It is a vast field, and the same concept can play out totally different for one family than the other. The soul chooses, before it incarnates, what lessons need to be solved throughout the lifetime. This depends also on what did not go the best way the other time. I don't want to go into the depth into karma. That would be a whole episode of its own. But entanglements and resonance brings souls back together, either in a context that may seem negative from a human point of view, but a positive framework as well. For the universe, everything, especially negative things, can be an opportunity to grow. Sometimes it's not so easy to hear such things when you went through hard times in life. So did I, but your soul choose the challenges. For some, it may be a health issues. Others get it business-wise in connection to people, and others get their trials in relationships or various generational stuff, like an old inherited curse, for example. Yes, there is some ugly stuff out there, but we are here to learn. And one of my favorite Hawaiian masters said once, "There is nothing in the world that cannot be healed." He was a living example who has overcome a stroke, regenerated fully, and lived more than 2 decades more until he left this planet. Dr. Joe Dispenza is also a very good example for someone who healed himself in a marvelous way, and someone who brings science and spirituality together. I love those who build a bridge between those worlds. He is still teaching. Check out his story if you are interested. The basic blueprint of life is curated by the soul. Unfortunately, things can spiral and create an energy on its own that then can work against you. And for this, we have allies. The soul chose who we need to meet in life to support us. If it is a very big project, most likely more than one lifetime is needed. So you will incarnate again to finish a certain mission. As a family member, as a friend, or perhaps even a romantic relationship can be important of some sort. But this is a special topic, and I wanted to stay in lane of the Cancer family theme that cares about what happened in the past or ancestry. I thought I would share with you a short insight from what I gathered in the last decades, what source has shown me, and is in alignment with other teachers I resonate with. There is a saying, "Home is where the heart is." I would like to leave you with a question today. With whom does your heart feel the most comfortable? Naturally, your body starts to relax. Does your heart jump when you see them? Or perhaps it emanates a warm feeling when you hug them. Those are the one I call family, whether by blood or proven by the test of life, and maybe sent by source. I love to hear from you. I received a question that I would like to dive into next week about soul family, which is so beautiful fitting into Cancer season. If you have a question around that, you can leave it in the comments of my YouTube channel named Crystal Seraphim Sounds or my Instagram. For those of you who do not have social media and love to send questions or would like to book a one-on-one session with me to go on a soul sound journey, just send me an email for further details. You can find everything in the show notes. Thank you for tuning in. I wish you a beautiful weekend. Love to you all. Rose.